Here's a comment sent in from Sandra Hawkins, a nonprofit community fundraiser. When I first came across the Bots and Brains Insights blog, I didn't expect much. Another industry newsletter, I thought. But one article turned into 3, and then I was hooked. This wasn't theory, it was practical, tested, and deeply relevant. Here is an email sent in my Bob Chartrand. I remember reading a piece on donor segmentation that made me stop in my tracks. I'd been looking at the same data for months, but suddenly I saw patterns I'd never noticed. The next week, I reorganized my outreach, and the results spoke for themselves. Another one sent in by Carla Owens. One article asked, "Is your CRM building relationships or burying them?" That question stayed with me. I started reevaluating how I used our tech in donor conversations. And honestly, my next visit felt more personal, more human. Here's some feedback from Allison Metz. There was a time I thought I had this all figured out, been in fundraising for years, but the blog opened my eyes to approaches I hadn't considered. Small changes, like reframing impact language, led to bigger connections. And the tech strategies, they're not just buzzwords. I used one post to completely rethink how I track major gifts. It's like getting a mini masterclass each time I read. Clorinda Johnson said, "We started reading the blog as a team. Someone would share a link, and suddenly we're whiteboarding new stewardship ideas at lunch. One article even helped us justify a new software investment to leadership." Bruce Miller said, "What I love is that the blog doesn't just react to trends. It dares us to imagine what's next. What if AI could strengthen alumni ties? What if predictive modeling could uncover untapped giving potential?" Bots and Brains helped us start asking those questions. It sparked some of our most creative brainstorms, and it's made us braver, more willing to try new things, even if they're outside our comfort zone. I've been in this work long enough to know professional growth doesn't just come from conferences or big budget trainings. Sometimes it comes from thoughtful content delivered consistently, and that's what Bots and Brains gives me. As someone still early in my career, I used to feel behind, like I was constantly catching up, but reading this blog makes me feel equipped. Informed, like I have a roadmap for where I'm headed. It bridges generations, too. I can have conversations with senior fundraisers or new team members, and we're speaking the same language because we're reading the same ideas. To us, Bots and Brains isn't just a blog, it's a spark, a sounding board, a source of fresh thinking when we need it most. And it reminds us why we do this work and how we can keep doing it better. Not just for higher numbers, but for deeper relationships, stronger teams, and more meaningful impact. I still have a lot to learn, but this blog, it makes me excited for the journey. And most of all, it reminds us that the future of fundraising isn't something to fear. It's something to shape.